Sort of the story. I'm Max.
I'm Janey.
And this is the podcast where we tell each other stories, and also, you're here.
Oh my god, welcome! By now you should know what this podcast is about. You have 39 chances to figure it out. So,
yes.
Hopefully by now we don't have to tell you this isn't for children, and if you're a child, get out.
Lots of language and adult themes in these children's stories that we read most of the time.
My story only has a little bit of language in it.
My story has several children. So.
Actually, mine does too. Mine's all about children.
God.
So we're really excited to be at episode 40. What a fun little milestone. Junior called me today and said, I know you're doing a live today, which he's very excited about. And he's like, I'm excited to see you guys play your weird games. But, like, what are you going to do for episode 50? I don't know. Should we go skydiving?
I think so.
50 episodes in the podcast is not that many episodes.
I think for 50 episodes, I don't know.
Should we do, like, full white girls Instagram and get the big rose gold balloons that say 50 and we, like, shove cakes in each other's mouths?
I think the theme for 50 should be over the hill.
Oh, no. Okay.
Maybe. I think for episode 55, we should definitely do an episode where we talk about retirement.
Okay. Yeah. I think for episode 50, we should just retell our favorite Golden Girls episode. Done.
I don't watch the Golden Girls.
So I'll give you a favorite. Don't worry.
Thanks, man.
I got you. All right. Well, on this episode here, we are going to be doing famous fairy tales.
Some of the classics, bringing them back.
You know, just bringing back the classics, really.
A new twist.
We haven't thought about the Grimm brothers enough. So, this is going to be very exciting. Before we do that, guys, please rate and review this podcast. Now we're at episode 40. I almost said 50. I have tricked myself into thinking that we've already done 10 episodes. But yeah, rate and review us. It helps us out a lot. It makes us feel good.
Yeah, and it's also, you know, people know, you know.
People know.
Yeah.
People know.
People know.
How do you know if you have friends unless they write nice things about you publicly?
I ran out of my ADHD medication this morning, so a little bit. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing some classics, as we said, and then also please rate and review us.
I already said all this.
I know, and also subscribe to us on. Sorry,
you're catching
the
up.
Bullet points in my head. I'm on a lag.
You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Goodreads, Gmail,
Google Plus,
Google Docs,
Twitter, and I think that's all of them.
Oh, that's all the stuff.
We're doing.
It's sort of the story at gmail.com. If you want to start a podcast, try signing up with Buzzsprout. It's the platform that we're on, and you can find the link in our show notes.
Yes.
Story notes. So, with all of that, we can talk more about it at the end, but you want to just dive right in since we are hanging by the world's thinnest thread?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do it.
And it's an even number, so I'm going first.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, are you guys fucking ready? You're not fucking ready, you little
You're not
fucking
ready.
Pieces of
Get
shit.
out of here.
I think they like it when I bully them in the middle of the episode they're listening to very kindly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, all of you little sickos with your weird degradation kinks. I see you, you pieces of shit. There's somebody out there who
hi,
actually...
Mom, hi, Dad.
Oh, no! I always forget that your parents are nice and they listen to us. My parents do not listen to us. They would rather forget about me.
Oh, buddy.
Anyway, today I am covering The Sleeping Beauty in the Wood. Or you might know it colloquially as Sleeping Beauty.
Well, gee whiz.
Yeah.
I do know it is that.
This version of the story was written by Charles Perrault?
Perrault, maybe?
Perrault? Perrault. A-U-L-T.
Yeah, that's French.
Perrault.
I think it's Perrault, yeah.
Okay, Charles Perrault. He is French. Mm-hmm. Good eye. Okay. And I'll go into it a little bit more at the end, but this version has always been my favorite version of the story because there's an ending to it that is, like, the Disney version, of course, ends with, and I think this is how the Brothers Grimm story ends, with they get married and live happily ever after, right? It's about her waking up. That's not what this story is about. So I'm excited to tell you. Once upon a time, picture it if you will,
A time.
A time once upon. A king and a queen were grieving because they had no children, Max. And they wanted children. It's all they wanted in the whole wide world. They tried everything. This is a quote. They tried the waters of every country. They made vows and pilgrimage, and nothing worked. And then I wrote, try sex.
Have you considered
boning?
Maybe drink less water. Have sex instead. Just good life advice.
Why are they only having sex in pools? You're getting everyone else pregnant but her.
Also, you're going to get a lot of STIs.
Yeah, it's not great. That queen is doing poorly. Okay, so I don't know why. So at last, they figured it out, all right? The penis goes in the vagina, and the queen gets pregnant. And they're like, oh, right. Should have been doing that the whole time.
Ah, nuts.
Yeah, right?
We wasted so much time and we spent so much money on swimsuits.
And then they made a decree that they had, like, standardized sex education across the whole kingdom so that no one else makes their mistakes and just goes, like, swimming a bunch instead of procreating how you should.
What a fairy tale where there is universal sex education supported by
the government. Yeah. The end.
A beautiful story.
I know, didn't you like that?
I wish my life was like a fairy tale.
But it's not, you whore. So, they decided that after they gave birth, this is a sexist fairy tale. After the queen gives birth to the most beautiful little girl anybody had ever seen, they were like, okay, so she needs some godmothers. We're going to choose every fairy in the realm. And this was strategic because there are 7 fairies that they could find. They searched high and low. They found every fairy that they knew to be alive in their realm. And the kind of fairy custom is that when you are a godmother as a fairy, you have to bestow a magical gift on your godchild. And they were like, oh, she's going to have 7 magical gifts. Score. This is a greedy decision. There are no godfathers. There are only magical gift-giving godmothers.
Honestly,
I know.
not a terrible idea.
Perfect in every way. So when the christening, they have the christening in the church, you know, and then they bring everybody back to the castle and there's this huge feast. And at the top, like the front of the hall, they have this table of honor set up with 7 places for each of the fairies. And they've given them these caskets filled with a golden spoon, a golden fork, and a golden knife. And they're all set with diamonds and rubies, and they like have their names on them and stuff like that, like they're monogrammed, I don't know. But they're very special to each fairy. And that's their gift, right? They're like, thank you so much for being our child's godmother. And so Everybody's having a great time. It's a lovely dinner. And all the fairies are like, we love our golden cutlery that only we can use because there's only one of everything. Great. And then the door bursts open. And the oldest, most dried up looking fairy, just tiny, she kind of, I imagine, this isn't any commentary on anything, except I imagine she looks like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Like, she's tiny. Yeah. Tiny and has her same voice and is just pissed off.
Yep.
So she opens the door, right, and everyone's like, look at that really small old woman. And then her wings pop out and they're like, ah, she's a fairy? I thought there was only 7. And she's like, so you didn't invite me on purpose? You decided on purpose to leave out old fairy? She doesn't have a name. And everyone was like, okay, we don't want to offend you, but we all thought you were dead. She's like, well, I'm very offended by that. What had happened, it was an honest mistake. They did not leave her out on purpose, but she had taken a nap for 50 years.
Relatable.
Yeah. And everyone just assumed she had died because that's not a nap.
No, that's an extended coma.
Yeah. And so she's pissed. The king's like, no, we didn't forget you. I'm sorry, this was an oversight. He immediately sets up a place at the table, right? He's like, a place of honor, please, we're really excited that you're here. We already did the ceremony, but you're here, a place of honor. And everyone keeps eating, but this old ornery bitch is just like muttering obscenities under her breath. And sitting next to her is a very young fairy. She's very new. And she's listening to her curse. And like, genuinely, because they can't just make another casket full of like very personalized gold cutlery. These were made specially for the fairies. And so she's just pissed. And the young fairy is like, oh, I bet she's gonna do something terrible. She's muttering over here that she's gonna do something terrible. I'm deducing maybe she's gonna do something terrible. So as everybody gets up out of their chairs to go see the baby, this young fairy, hides behind a tapestry. And hiding behind a curtain with her little fairy feet poking out at the bottom is cracking me up. So
she has fairy wings poking out of the sides.
Yeah. And she's like, there's glitter just coming out between the seams.
You can see the glow of a magic wand through the tapestry.
Oh my god. And every time she like moves or shifts a little bit, there's just a little tinkling sound.
Yeah, there are little fireflies that just sing around her.
She's got little frogs wearing vests who are just like, swaying.
Shut the fuck up. And they're like, we love you and magic. And she's like, how about you shut the fuck up? You shut the fuck up.
Shh, shh, everybody, shut up. Bonk, bonk, bonk.
She bonks the little frogs on the head. And they go in order to like bonk, bonk, bonk.
Yeah, like a xylophone. Like a fancy little frog xylophone.
A xylophone.
Oh my god. Okay. So all of that happens. It is canon. Oh my god, we didn't tell them. But somebody came on my live and told me that their mom described our podcast to their dad as, the podcast with the cackling girls. And I was like, we should start a band.
It's not inaccurate.
It's not. Also, they said that she described it to their dad, and then they found out later that their dad listens to our podcast. And I was like, oh, that's really nice. Dads listen to this? That's awesome. Welcome, dads. Oh no.
So welcome, dads.
Welcome all dads. But they only found out because they kept opening up their app to like play the podcast where they had left off, and they'd be on a different episode, and they're like, what the hell is happening? I keep losing my place. And then they found out their dad was sneaky listening to our podcast. Oh, the podcast of the Cackling Girls.
Cackling Girl.
I'm gonna change our description. Like, two best friends tell each other stories. Dads love us.
Cackling Rosie.
Cackling Rosie, welcome back. That's the song those Halo Frogs play. Bong, 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 bong.
Rosie cast our pod.
We're changing. I know we said we loved Buzzsprout, but we're gonna switch to Cacklin' Rosie. Okay, so the young fairy, she suspects something bad's gonna happen, and she thinks to herself, I should probably be the last person to go to bestow my gifts. Just in case something goes wrong, I should probably be here to try to counteract whatever this, like, saucy old bitch is about to do. And so, all the fairies present their gifts. If you were a fairy, Max, and you were, like, you had magic to give a child any, like, attribute in the whole world, what would you give them?
Eidetic memory.
Oh, see, I said karate. And those are the two genders. Okay, so, but like both very helpful. This is what the fairies present, okay? And everyone makes me more and more angry because none of them are karate.
One of them is Tai Chi.
You're so close. One of them's just yoga. Who's that gonna help?
I give you the gift of Shavasana.
The third fairy just brought a Peloton. We have to buy a subscription for this. It's bullshit. Okay. So, the first one said, oh, I give you the gift of being the most beautiful girl in the whole world. And I'm like, all right, okay, so she's got pretty privilege. It's not unuseful. Okay.
Sure.
The next one said, and immediately this ugly baby becomes beautiful. The next one is like, okay, she's gonna have the temper of an angel. And I'm like, have you ever read the Bible?
That is a fiery temper.
This fucking girl's gonna start wars. Unfortunately, the angel is Lucifer. She overthrows her parents. She just starts wandering around fucking tempting everyone. They're like, oh, we made a mistake.
Oh no.
Our fairy Bible is different than your Christian Bible.
The big pitfall of being a fairy is that you have to just fully stop using metaphors.
Yeah, 100%. It's
like
not
a monkey's
easy.
paw
Oh
scenario.
my god. The third one is like, she's going to have wonderful grace. And then the fourth one piggybacks on that and says, and she's going to be a good dancer. That's the same thing.
That's the same thing.
That's the same thing. You're not allowed to give her karate. Oh, everyone is mad. Everyone makes me mad. The fifth one is like, she's going to sing like a nightingale. And the other one is like, and also she'll be able to play any type of music. And I'm like, just
give her music powers.
music powers. I did write all in caps. Someone give her karate. So, the old fairy stands up and is like, and for my gift, she's gonna die. She's gonna prick her finger. She's gonna prick her finger on a spindle and she's gonna drop dead. Everybody fuck yourselves. And then she like flips them off and then she disappears in a cloud of smoke. Right? So immediately all hell breaks loose. Like everyone just starts screaming. The king and queen are just sobbing. They're like, what? That's not a gift. So at this point, the young fairy reveals herself. Right? And she's like, everyone's like, not the tie. So she comes out from behind the tapestry, right? Everyone's like, we knew you were there. Your frogs were singing the whole time. And she says, okay, everybody calm down. Don't worry. She won't die. I still have to give my gift. So she says, okay, my powers are not enough to undo this curse. She's a really old fairy. She's very powerful. And I'm like brand spanking new. I can't even get these frogs to shut up. So,
and the frogs were like, sure you can.
Oh. Now they're wearing suspenders and little hats. It's like when they become barbershop frogs. She's bad.
A barbershop croquette.
You're really good at this.
Thank you. Frog puns at the drop of a hat.
At
a
the
drop of a frog's top hat.
So she says, yes, the little girl one day is going to prick her finger on a spinning wheel, on the spindle, and it's going to harm her. But she won't die, okay? So I'm just going to change it. She's going to fall asleep for, I don't know, 100 years. And I'm like, why 100 years? You have the power
A year.
She's going to fall asleep for that night.
Yeah, she's going to have a nice nap.
She's going to sleep for 14 hours instead of 8. Like, you don't have to make it 100 years. There's nothing in the story that says, like, oh, that's the equivalent of being dead or something. Like,
yeah.
Why choose 100? You know that the queen was like, are you fucking kidding me? She might as well die.
Yeah.
At this point, just kill her. Let her die. And that way, when we die, we can be in heaven together. So she says she's going to fall asleep for 100 years. At the end of the 100 years, a king's son is going to awaken her and break the curse. And that's all I can do. That's how I'm going to override this curse. So naturally, the first thing the king does is...
ban all spindles.
He bans all spindles. That's exactly right. He's like, okay. He like immediately puts up all these decrees and he's like, if anybody's found with a spinning wheel in their house or a spindle like tucked underneath like a bed or something, immediate beheading. Like punishable by death, no more spinning wheels. Now,
so then nobody has any clothes.
This is what I said. Spinning wheels are important at this time. This is how you make every fabric.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, everybody's just naked after a while.
Nice.
So when she's about 15 or 16 years old, she's had a really wonderful life. Everybody is obsessed with her and they love her and like she's just a delight. One day, her parents, the king and queen, go away, quote, on pleasure bent. It's a sex cruise. They go on a sex cruise. They're like, we gotta go to our swingers party. See you later. They figured out sex and now they can't stop. So the princess is like bored, right? Her parents are gone. She's roaming around the castle and she's exploring each and every room and she makes her way to the top of a tower and she opens a door and she sees an old serving woman sitting alone and spinning on a spinning wheel. And the princess, who is like, what is that? I mean, honestly, that must be so exciting. If you've never seen a spinning wheel before and you're like a 15-year-old, you're like, what? Like, what is this? And so, I mean, they don't have TV. So.
I feel like were I the king, I would, when she reaches an age of being able to understand things, be like, hey, by the way, you're under a curse. Here's a drawing of a thing that you should avoid. If you see this, run.
Never do this. That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, they could have easily have told her, everyone can keep their spinning wheels, but you specifically will fall asleep for 100 years if you ever touch one.
Also, always be nice and grateful to fairies, because without their magic, you would be one ugly son of a bitch.
100%. You would look like your father. And you would be clumsy like your mom. But now you're graceful.
And you would lose all of your sick rap skills.
She didn't get that power. They didn't even give her the ability to rap well. They gave her grace and dance. Like, come on.
She's a good singing voice. That could be rap. Music skills?
She does have music skills. That's true. Maybe she's a good rapper.
I assume she is.
What about telling the story of Tupac? This is a roundabout way to tell the whole story about Tupac's life. So, she sees the spinning wheel, right? And she's like, we don't even have lamps. So this is like great technology for me.
Why don't they have lamps?
Well, not like we have lamps.
The king was like, all right, no spinning wheels. And you know what else? Lamps piss me off. No more lamps.
I do have electric lamps. And also, we want to put everyone else in the dark. So, the princess is immediately interested. It says specifically, this woman is not the old fairy in disguise. She just doesn't know the law of this kingdom.
She lives in the castle. She lives in a tower in the castle. How does she not know?
How did she get the spinning wheel in the castle? It's punishable by death. And somehow she got a whole spinning wheel up the stairs, through the entire castle, up to the... Yeah, no, she's definitely the old fairy in disguise. But in the story, it's like, no, she's completely innocent. She had no idea that there was a curse or that they were outlawed. Where has she been? Was she asleep for 50 years and just woke up with her spinning wheel, like holding it like a body pillow?
Counterpoint.
Yeah.
She's a cleaning woman.
Okay.
She's probably been working her ass off.
Yeah.
Nobody tells her anything.
Sure.
And she might have had this in the tower since before the princess was born, and the castle is just so big that the king and queen don't see most of the rooms.
I mean, maybe. And they thought that everyone would get it. Maybe she's deaf, right? She can't, she doesn't hear, and so nobody ever told her.
Yeah.
And also she can't read because she lives in medieval times, and
yeah.
She lives in medieval times. And she just got back home from her medieval times job, where she picks up after the Green Knight. Maybe. She's not deaf, because the princess is like, what's that? And she's like, it's a spinning wheel. So I guess that theory goes out the window. And she says, I'm spinning, pretty child. And the princess is like, can I try it? I bet I'd be really good at it. And then it says specifically, this is all comes to be, one, because she's kind of like, she's too hasty, right? She's like really excited and she can't really control her like excitement. 2, there's a curse on her. And 3, the spinning woman is bad at babysitting. And also this is another thing they mention. The spinning woman doesn't know she's the princess. Who is she? She doesn't recognize the princess as being a royal child. She's in the castle at the very top.
And this must be a huge castle. That's all I can think, is that this castle is so big that there are, like, corners of it that go unexplored for years.
This princess is, like, the most famous kid in the world. She went viral for being cursed by a fairy. You just know that happened.
Okay, but also, like, if this woman is a cleaning woman in a massive castle, she probably doesn't have the free time for things that go viral. I mean, like...
15 years? You don't recognize who you're cleaning up after? This woman is weird. She's suspicious.
I don't know.
So, she's like, I'm gonna go try it. And the princess runs forward, falls into the spindle, and dies. And so the woman immediately is like, help! Everyone help! And she starts screaming for help. Everyone runs up and they try to help the princess. I'm assuming they execute that woman off with her head. That's the only explanation. She's punishable by death. And so they throw water on her. They slap her around a bit. That's not me embellishing. It says specifically, quote, they chafed her with their hands. They just slapped her a bunch. They rubbed her temples with, quote, the royal essence of Hungary.
Mint?
I was thinking semen.
Ew.
Mint, that's why I said ew, but you're right. It's probably something else.
I think when they're trying to wake people up, is it like mint or clove that you're supposed to rub the oil on your temples?
The royal essence of the country Hungary sounds like a euphemism to me.
It does.
And not a bad one. Yeah. Or not a good one, I mean.
They dunked her face with the royal jewels.
They just teabagged her. And that didn't wake her up. That always works at our frat parties. Well, we have no other options. So she doesn't wake up. The king and queen return from their sex trip early, and they remember the prophecy. The king is like, oh crap, okay, yeah, this has to be the curse. Unfortunately, this is the moment where we lose our kid. And so he orders that she be laid on a bed that's embroidered with gold and silver. They close the curtains around her. They make her really comfortable. And she looks beautiful. Like, she doesn't look dead. She still has rosy cheeks. They say that her lips are like the color of coral. Like, she's clearly still alive, but she's in a deep, deep sleep. So they call on the good fairy. She's 12,000 leagues away. Because she wasn't, waiting around. Busy. Yeah, she's got some shit to do. But she was, this doesn't matter that she's so far away. This is a throwaway paragraph that never comes back. So just so you know. Mm-hmm. She is, quote, instantly warned by a little dwarf who had on a pair of 7-league boots.
I know what those are. They're these, like, mystical boots that a single step moves you 7 leagues.
Yeah.
So you can travel massive distances by wearing these boots in, like, no time at all.
Okay, but here's my problem with this. Mm-hmm. The dwarf is like, 7-league boots. I got it. He goes 7 leagues. Then he has to take they have to take another step. It could be a girl. Girl dwarves can wear 7-league boots. Mm-hmm. She, queen, has to take 2 steps. Now she's 14 leagues away. Then she has to walk back 2 leagues on foot, or somehow only take a half step, or like shuffle awkwardly.
Trigonometry.
She just goes in a...
Yeah, so you could go like 7 leagues one way, mm-hmm. and then like measure out the angle, go 7 leagues at like an obtuse angle, and then 7 leagues back so that you cross over. You would have to get really good at geometry, I think, if you had 7-league boots.
I assume if you have 7-league boots, you are taking, like, advanced trigonometry.
Yeah. The reason why I know this is because of the Gail Carson Levine book, The Two Princes of Mar, which I think I've actually talked about on this podcast before, which is weird.
We have talked extensively about her.
There's a hot wizard.
Yeah.
He gives the main character 7-league boots to travel around in. But he's like, you have to be really careful because...
I remember this.
Yeah, you have to be really careful because you have to know where you're going and, like, be able to see it in your mind in order to be able to land there. If you just walk in a direction, you can end up inside of an object. Yeah. So, like, you can end up... If you try to walk, like, to a mountain and you overshoot because you don't know, like, you can't picture where you're going, you can end up, like, buried underground in the mountain without being able to get out because you can't take a step. Ooh. And that is my specific fear.
It really is. I remember this. That's so weird. That was like a recovered memory for me. Mm-hmm. How fun. I'm going to reread those books. I know we said this like a while ago, but it's going to happen.
If you want it.
I do. Okay, so the little dwarf gets to her. I want more info about this dwarf in the boots. I want to know everything about it. The fairy sets off at once. The fairy, I just hit Max. I pushed you. Because this is also an interesting thing that isn't part of the story. Mm-hmm. The fairy sets off at once in a chariot of fire drawn by dragons.
The fuck?
And the fairy makes it in less than an hour, and that's all we need to know.
How is everything in this story cooler than the story?
100%.
I want to know about this ancient fairy who's been asleep for 50... Like, what's she got going on?
I mean...
Like, every single component of the story that isn't the story is so much more interesting than the story.
Wild. Anyway, so she's in a chariot of fire drawn by dragons. She makes it back to the castle really fast. And the fairy, she gets there and she's like, okay, listen... You guys did the right thing. You laid her down in a really nice bedroom. Like, you made her comfortable. That's all you can do. But don't worry. I'm a little concerned now about when she wakes up in 100 years. We can't just leave her here alone because she's going to be a 15-year-old waking up and everyone she knows is dead. That's wild. Also, maybe you should have prepared her for this a little bit better. She's not going to know what's happening. So she decides to go around so that the princess won't be lonely, because God forbid. And she decides to give her some company. She touches her wand on everybody in the castle, except for the king and queen, because they still have to run a country. So she touches all the maids of honor, ladies in waiting, governesses, gentlemen, the officers, the cooks, the errand boys, the guards, the footmen, every single person in the castle besides the king and queen get put to sleep against their will.
Counterpoint, leave all those people alone. They have lives. This is just their job. The king and queen should be asleep and just give the kingdom to someone else for 100 years.
Errand boys, like little babies. But to sleep.
This is terrible.
They have no, like, where are their parents?
This is a crime.
Yes. She also touches all the horses. They have... They have big mastiffs in the guard, like the yard. They have these giant mastiffs that are like guard dogs. They go to sleep, which is adorable.
It sounds like they wouldn't be very good at guarding that.
I know. And This is another throwaway line that is driving me crazy. Quote, "Little Puff, the pet dog of the princess." And Puff is lying on the bed beside her. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Little Puff! I'm like, that's the only one that was important to also put asleep next to her. Little Puff the dog. Justice for Puff, because we never hear about Puff again.
God damn.
She even put the fires in the fireplace to sleep. And she puts these, like, they all have spits on them because they're loaded with, like, partridges and pheasants. And she puts those to sleep, too, so that when everybody wakes up, that food will immediately start to cook. Because she's like, they're going to be real hungry and maybe pissed.
So I'm going to give them salmonella because I'm leaving raw chicken out for 100 years.
The raw chicken is asleep. Don't worry. Yeah, so now they're all asleep. They can only wake up when the princess wakes up. The king and queen kiss their child, and they leave the castle. And they immediately are like, they make proclamations like, nobody's allowed to go back to that castle. It's cut off. Everyone on the outside is like, "Hi, my wife's in there. I stepped out for milk." And they're like, "Never again." But they didn't need to do that. That's like also not necessary because the fairy, she grew a huge forest all around the castle and it blocks it from view. So the only way you can see the castle is from the very top. If you're far enough away and high up enough, you see the tops of the spires of the towers. But that's it. And if any looky-loos come in, brambles and vines will start to like block their path and physically, magically keep them from entering. So she's like, nobody's going to go in and disturb anything. She's going to be safe. Now we just gotta let the spell do its thing. So the king and queen move to a new castle, and that's it. Over the course of 100 years, power shifts, and the king and queen and their line die out because they never had any children after her.
Yeah, just go to sleep. Go to sleep, let someone take care of the country for 100 years.
Yeah, but would you want, again, no, because would you want somebody to suddenly wake up? Who was the president 100 years from now, ago? 1922. Do you want them to suddenly be the president, to wake up and be like, no. I'm the president?
No, but like, I mean, they don't even have to be the king and queen again. They can just have a child. Like, that seems like an easy choice for me.
They can't have a child. Because also, they're having so much sex now and they still haven't had a kid.
No, I mean, like, if they go to sleep for 100 years, right? Uh-huh. And then they wake up in 100 years at the same time as Sleeping Beauty, then even if they're not the king and queen, they still have their child back and they can, like, be with her.
I don't know. I think it was a better decision to not just abandon the country and let there be a power vacuum. You know, like, they still had a thing. I don't know. I get what you're saying. They could have, like,
chosen an advisor and been like, hey, you're in charge now. Just us and all the rest of the people who work here can go home are gonna sleep in this castle until our daughter wakes up.
Nope.
Because also we fucked up. Like, we fucked up.
Yeah.
And now we need to deal with the consequences instead of being like, hey, all you people working for minimum wage, you get to never see your families again. Congrats, good night.
With no warning. Yeah. So they leave, right? After 100 years, right, the throne has passed to a new family, which I love the detail because I love that whoever is coming isn't related to her. They had to, like, make a point to be like, guess what? It's a new family, no relation. And one day, the king's son is hunting, right? And he's like 16 years old. He's her age. I love this story, by the way. I have very few notes, even with all the notes I'm giving.
Yeah.
So
I have notes, but that's fine.
Yeah, but I think you're going to be happy about it, though. So the king's son, who's like her age, he sees the tower spires poking out over the trees as he's hunting. And he asks his attendants, he's like, hey, what is that castle? I've never seen that before. And they all start to give him different answers. One of them's like, oh, it's a haunted castle. It's full of ghosts. There was a massacre there, and I knew he can get to it. And another attendant's like, no, that's where witches live. And they, like, cackle in there all day long, and they do spells. And another one's like, no, a really terrible, like, ogre lives there. And he attacks children, and he drags them back to that castle, and then he eats them in peace. And so they're all, like, kind of scaring him. And he's sitting there trying to figure out which story he likes best. He's like, which one seems the most believable? It's the witches. And so...
Sure. The witches cackling in their castle, recording a podcast.
Yeah, us. Oh, it's us. It's us. Guys, imagine us in this castle. That's the pod loft. So, but as he's like, which one is this? A peasant kind of walks up and overhears this, and he's like, oh, my lord, my father told me that 50 years ago he heard a story that this castle holds a sleeping princess who's doomed to be asleep for 100 years, only to be awakened by a brave king's son. And the prince is like, that one. I like that one.
I'm a king's son.
That's so interesting, because I happen to be a king's son, and your father said this 50 years ago, and 50 years ago from that, it's 100 years. Let's go get that princess. So he puts it together.
This is super convenient.
Yeah, he's like, well, off we go.
What if that peasant was like, oh, here's a lie, and like this is like not the truth, and then he had just robbed the prince in the middle of the forest? Like the prince was like, a princess just for me, and the peasant was like, anyways, crown and jewels now.
He starts to just kick the shit out of him. Okay, so they walk into the woods, right? And the brambles and the thorns part for him immediately. And everyone's like, whoa. Like, it's immediately clear that, like, some magic is happening. Because when he walks up the forest, all the trees part. And so he makes it to the castle. And as soon as he gets to, like, this big empty courtyard where the silence is, like, deafening, he turns around, because all the brambles had moved out of the way for him. He turns around to talk to the attendant, and he watches as all the brambles and vines snap shut again, blocking him off from his party. And they're all like, whoa. So they all start, like, yelling, like, hey! And he's like, oh no, I fucked up. Trapped. And so he tells himself, like, princes are brave. They're brave. It's fine. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of anything. Everything's fine. So he tells them, like, I'm not scared.
Don't worry, guys.
They're like,
I'm fine. And they're like, we're being murdered by plants. And he's like, don't worry, guys. I'm super brave.
I'm not scared. And so they're like, we're going to go around and try to find a way in. And he's like, okay. And so he pushes on into the castle because he's on an adventure and can't be stopped. However, now that he's in the castle, he is filled with a lot of fear because he just starts finding bodies everywhere. He finds men and animals laying all around. They are unresponsive like the dead. But, ew, this one, the first thing he sees is a bunch of people who are, like, clearly in the middle of drinking a bunch of wine, because there's still wine in their glasses, and they have, quote, pimply noses and ruddy faces. And he's like, all right, so I don't think they're dead because they're gross. Then he makes his way up the staircase to the castle guard room, and he follows the sound of snoring, because all the guards are snoring louder than everyone else, and they're all, like, leaned against the wall holding muskets, and just, like, heads tipped back, mouths open, like, snoring so loud. And he's like, okay. And then he walks further in and he sees like apartments crowded with ladies and gentlemen in waiting, and some are seated, some are standing, and they're all asleep. And eventually he goes to the top of the tower and he finds the most beautiful girl he's ever seen in his life. He like walks in and she's laying there, the curtains are drawn around her, and she just looks like an angel, right? Lucifer. And so he starts like trembling in admiration. He's like, oh my God, like he's like just everything's gone quiet for him. He kneels down beside her. And as he kneels down beside her, what are you laughing at?
He kneels down beside her and he goes, oh my God, a puppy.
And he starts kissing the dog. Oh, Puff. And then he takes the dog and he leaves.
And Puff is the princess now.
Puff is the princess now. Okay. So he's like... That's such a better ending. I want to end the story. Okay, so he kneels down beside her, and as he kneels down beside her, the disenchantment breaks. And she wakes up, and she sits up, and she's like, whoa! And he's like, wow! They don't kiss. I love this version of the story. He doesn't touch her, he doesn't kiss her, she just wakes up because he's knelt down beside her and found her, and she's like, it's you! God, you took a long time. I've been waiting for you. And then she just starts babbling, right? She's so excited to see him. And she's like, and another thing, and then blah, 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 and oh my God, and you look a lot taller than I thought you would be. And he's like, oh my God.
She's like, I had this dream, okay, I was at the dentist office, right? But the dentist was a wildebeest. I don't even know what a wildebeest is.
What even
but
is that?
I picture that it's kind of like a big old bear, but it's got like crazy hair. You know
and
what
like
I'm talking
Puff
about?
is like running around the room and peeing on everything. And he's like, what's happening?
Puff like wakes up and sees the prince and immediately starts barking like how tiny dogs do.
Yes.
It's just like, ah!
And so as she's like babbling, right? And she's like, I waited for you and all the blood. She's like babbling. And it's super cute. She takes a breath and he goes, I love you. Oh, hi. I love you so much. I like you more than myself. Hi, my name is Prince. I love you.
my name is Theodore, formerly known as Prince.
They make a point to say that he's very awkward and very embarrassed about how awkward he is, but like he is so overwhelmed with like how excited she is and how pretty she is and like this whole adventure that he's just like blurting out awkward statements of love. But they delight her. And this is a quote that I love. The quote from Charles Perrault is, the less there is of eloquence, the more there is of love.
Aww.
Isn't that nice? She doesn't have to stumble over words, right? Because she's had a really long time to practice this. Because the good fairy gave her really nice dreams while she was in there. And so she was able to, like, kind of, like, plan out certain things and imagine the scenario over and over again. And basically, like, she had a nice, like, I hope she gave that to everyone else in the castle, too.
Yes.
I hope Puff was, like, in good dreams, like, eating lots of chicken.
Oh, he was just, like, barking and, like, running in his sleep
yes, the whole time. She doesn't have to stumble over words, so she's very graceful in the way that she's talking to him. And the fairy, the fairy made sure to give her good dreams. They talk for 4 hours. And even in those 4 hours, they haven't even covered half of what they wanted to say to each other. They just cannot. They love each other so much. They don't want to be apart at all. And they just talk and talk and talk. And this is the sweetest thing I've ever read.
And meanwhile, the prince's party is being torn to shreds by thorns right outside.
He walks outside and it's just a scene from the ritual. They're all, like, on the trees.
We're, like, shredded. And he's like, oh, no.
I'll get new attendants. I'm a prince.
Anyways, I'm having someone.
So meanwhile, as they're talking, right, everyone else had woken up and they're starving because it's been 100 years. And the smell of all these pheasants that are now turning on the fires is like, oh, great. Like, we're so hungry. But they can't eat without her. And for 4 hours, everyone's like, just be patient. They'll come out soon. But they just won't stop talking. So eventually a really impatient lady in waiting goes, supper's ready! Like, screams up from down there. She's like, fucking get out here! They're all really hungry. And so they go down. He helps her up. And she's dressed beautifully because she's a princess. But the princess has stopped himself from commenting that she's dressed like his grandma. She's wearing
Prince, no!
really, really old clothes. Like, he's like, okay, all right. This is I didn't notice before, but, like, this is hilarious. Just imagine.
It's retro.
It's retro, yeah. This is gonna come back. Don't worry. She's wearing shoulder pads. And her hair's in, like, pin curls.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So they have dinner served by the stewards, and musicians play old music, and it's wonderful. And he's like, okay, I can get involved. This is like going back in time. Like, I'm fine with this. And at the end of the dinner, they go to the castle chapel, and the chaplain marries them. So they get married that night. They're like, we're not waiting. This is happening. And then they go back to their chamber to rest. And it specifically says that she just slept for 100 years, so they don't rest much. Whew. Yeah. And after that...
And again, the prince's party shredded.
Yeah. They're like fully fucking, and the sounds of the screams from this party are coming in. What is this, a Sarah J. Maas novel? Okay, so as soon as morning comes, the prince has to go back to his castle, right? And his father was really scared the whole time. He was like, I sent out a search party for you. None of your attendants came back. And he's like, oh... yeah, sorry, Dad. I got lost while I was hunting. I got separated from the hunting party. And I spent the night in the hovel, which is rude, of a charcoal burner. And that's where I was all night. And I'm like, don't call even imaginary people's homes hovels. Come on.
Also, what the fuck?
It's like a 2-story, 4-bedroom house. And he's like, I spent the night in this shack. Okay, so his father is dumb and believes him immediately. And is like, oh, great. But his mom is suspicious. She's like,
wait, why is he lying?
Okay, I'm gonna explain that in a second.
Okay.
So his mom notices that every day he goes out hunting, and a lot of times he disappears for like 2 or 3 nights at a time, and he always comes back with an excuse. He's like, oh, this happened, or oh, I met my friends and we lost track of time 3 days later. And like, she's like, something is happening. And so she becomes convinced that he's having an affair, right? She's like, something is up with you. You're my son, I know you. 2 years pass with this behavior.
What?
Yes, and nobody says anything, and there are no attendants alive to speak of this. And the princess has 2 children in this time. The first one is a beautiful little girl they call Dawn, or sometimes Aurora. It means, or not means, you know what Dawn means.
Yeah.
So Dawn.
Like Don Corleone.
Yeah. The first one's called Dawn, D-A-W-N. Mm-hmm. It's a girl. The second one is a little boy. They named him Day. And he's even more beautiful than his sister is. Like, that's just 2 very sweet, beautiful kids. I don't know why you have to mention that the boy is beautiful, more beautiful than the girl. Seems like unnecessary comparisons. So the queen tells her son over and over, she's like, you're getting pretty old. You should probably settle down. You should probably get married. And he's like, Mom, I'm 17. She's like, you're not going to be young forever. And so she's telling him, she's trying to trick him into confiding in her, right? She wants him to say, actually, I've already met someone, or actually, I'm secretly married. Like, she just wants to know, but he won't tell her because he doesn't trust his mom with this secret. Because even though he loves her because she's his mom, she's actually half ogre.
What?
The king married her for her wealth.
Again, every part of the story besides the story is more interesting than the story.
No. And it's whispered all the time that the queen has ogreish instincts, which seems racist, but apparently and unfortunately is not. So whenever she's near little children, she has to stop herself from, like, pouncing on them and gobbling them up. Like, ogres eat children. Everybody knows that. And so...
That is racist.
It is racist, except, like, she proves it right, which is unfortunate. So, and since he's not entirely sure this is a rumor, like, she never ate him when he was a baby, but, like... You know, why doesn't he have any siblings?
So, I don't know. Seems like confirmation bias at work.
It does. So he doesn't want her knowing about his 2 little babies, so he keeps it a secret for as long as he can, right? He's like, honestly, she's got a whole castle there full of people. Like, she's fine. And he just visits her as much as he can. So 2 years, after those 2 years, though, the king dies unexpectedly, and the prince finds himself seated on the throne. And they were like, cool, well, you have to be married before you can be coronated. And if you don't choose someone, you have to find a wife. We'll choose someone for you. And he's like, fuck, okay, fine. So he's forced to kind of reveal, I've been married for 2 years. I have children. This is the new queen. Hi! And then she comes in, and everyone's delighted because she's gorgeous, right? And they're like, what? And then all of the rumors about the castle are true. Like, this is the best news ever. After some time, right, now it's public, he has a wife and a family, everybody loves her, everything's going great. He declares war. This is too specific to me. He declares war on his neighbor, the Emperor Cantalabut. Cantalabute.
Cantaloupe butt.
Emperor Cantaloupe butt. Prepare to be boarded.
Emperor Cantaloupe butt, tear down this wall.
Why so specific? So his mother is appointed queen. We don't need to know the emperor's name.
We don't even know the prince's name.
Nobody in the story has a single name.
The story of Emperor Cantaloupe.
This is his tale.
This is his origin story. He's like, and that's how I met your arch nemesis. Our families are sworn to kill each other.
Emperor Cantaloupe does not come back. Oh, anyway. You're right, nobody in this story has names except for Dawn, Day, and Cantaloupe. Oh, okay. So while he's away, he appoints his mother Queen Regent, which is, wouldn't that be his wife's job? But she, I guess, is busy with children, and nobody trusts her. She's kind of an idiot. So he's like, my mom is Queen Regent while I'm away. And he's like, take care of my wife and my kids. And he like looks at her, and she's like, I will. And he's like, okay. And then he leaves. As soon as he is gone, she like waves to him, and his horse like disappears around the bend, and she's like, all right, pack him up. She has the queen and her grandchildren all move to a country mansion in the forest. And she does this because she wants to get him away from the public eye, because the rumors are true, she wants to eat those babies. I mean,
it's kind of responsible of her. She's like,
to hide her crimes.
Oh, I thought she was like, you should get out of the castle so I'm not tempted to eat you.
No, she goes with them.
Oh.
She takes him to her murder castle.
Oh, no.
So after a few days...
Castle in the woods.
Oh, man. So after a few days, she calls the chef, or the chief steward, right? And she says, tomorrow for dinner, I'm gonna eat Dawn. The steward's like, oh, no, I'm not gonna do that. And she yells in an inhuman tone, an ogreish, like, she has ogreish, like, growls and stuff in there. She says, I'm gonna eat Dawn. It's my will. And so he's, like, shaking. The whole castle shakes. Like, everyone's like, what the hell was that? And he's like, okay, got it. I'm gonna cook Dawn, who's 4 years old, right?
I'm picturing her wearing a t-shirt, which also we should design and put in the merch store, that just says, don't even talk to me until I've had my grandchildren.
Oh my god, that flipped my stomach so hard. I'm writing that down. Okay, so as he's leaving, right, he's forced to obey her, and as he's leaving, she says in her normal voice, And I want her served with a lovely piquant sauce. Piquant? Piquant?
Piquant, yeah.
Piquant sauce.
Like slightly spicy, usually.
Okay, yeah, that's how you serve Dawn. Slightly spicy, a little kick. So the steward takes...
with fava beans and a nice Chianti, alternatively.
That's what I want. I wanted to write picante sauce. I kept saying it.
And it comes from the same root, as far as I know.
Amazing. Okay, with a nice picante sauce. So the man...
picante salsa.
Yeah. So the steward takes a big knife and he goes to Dawn's room. He opens the door. She's 4 years old, and she runs at him. She flings her arms around his neck and just starts babbling, just like her mom, right? She's like, "Oh my God, you're back!" Like, just in the middle of a sentence, she just starts, blah, blah, blah. And so now she's, like, fully hanging onto him by the neck, and she's, like, pulling her head back to, like, look in his face and, like, very seriously babble at him in, like, 4-year-old talk. And she's like, "Anyway, did you bring me any candy? I won't tell if you give me some candy. I won't tell anyone you gave me the candy. Just give me the candy. Where's the candy?" Right? And so she's being very sweet and very cute. And he bursts into tears.
Oh no.
And he drops a knife. And he's like, "Yeah, I can't fucking do this. I'm not going to do this." And so he goes down to the yard. He slaughters a young lamb, right? This isn't said directly here, but the lamb is like 4 years old, right? It's the same age as the little baby Dawn. And he makes the piquant sauce. And it's so delicious that the queen is obsessed. She doesn't notice the difference. She genuinely thinks, like, the lamb is the same age as the child, the sauce is delicious.
And that's what determines the flavor, is how old it is.
Yeah. And so that's why I only eat things that are as old as Harry Styles. It's getting very tough. So she says she's never eaten anything so good in her life. And meanwhile, the steward takes Dawn to his wife. They live in their own separate, like, little house, like, at the back of the yard. And so he takes Dawn to his wife and says, like, "Hey, keep her here for her own safety, hide her away, and thanks." And then he leaves. And so 8 days go by. We don't know anything else that's happening in the meantime. Like, the queen isn't like, "Hey, have you seen my child?" 8 days later, the queen summons the steward again and says, "Tonight I will eat little Day." And the steward's like, "Okay." And he goes and he finds the child. And he has a tiny little sword in his hand. And it says, quote, "He's making brave passes, though he was but 3 years old, at a big monkey." What?
Big old monkey.
Where'd they get a big monkey? Is it a real monkey? You should probably watch him. Monkeys are famously unpredictable.
Yeah, they will lead a child.
How big is this monkey? Is it a gorilla?
Is it like a big small monkey? Or is it like...
It's a chimp. Chimps are terrifying.
Yeah, chimp will eat your face off. That's like what chimps notably do.
They can sword fight back. Okay. So he carries Day off to his wife.
Also, where is this?
In the middle of the forest. I don't know. So he carries Day off to his wife, and she hides him with Dawn. And then he goes and he finds a young goat that is the same age as Day, and he's really tender, and he serves it to the ogress queen, and she's like, "This is delicious, just as good as Dawn, if not better. Like, I loved this." And so, after a while, the queen summons him again and says, "I thought about it quite a bit, and I'm gonna eat my daughter-in-law. So, yeah, serve her with the same sauce you serve the children. Thank you." And so the queen is 20 years old now. Young queen. Mm-hmm. 20 years old. And that's not even counting the 100 years she had been asleep. So she's really beautiful, but also she's got a weird texture, you would assume, because she's actually 120 years old.
Sure.
And so he's like...
Dry aged.
Yeah, he's like he's concerned. He's like, what if I can't find an animal that... None of the animals will match this queen, and then the ogress is gonna know, and then she's gonna kill me, and then if she kills me, she'll probably go get my wife, and she'll find the babies, and so he's, like, freaking out, and so he eventually is like, "I gotta do it. I guess this one I can't get out of it." And so he goes to the queen with a knife, and he's like, okay, he, like, stands outside her room, he's, like, giving himself, like, a pep talk to make him really pissed, he walks in with the knife, she turns around and sees him, and he breaks down, and is like, "I'm so sorry," and then he just starts, like, telling her everything that happened. And as he tells her, like, "She ordered me to kill your children, and now she wants me to kill you," the queen says, "Do it! Do it, you fucking coward! You won't do it!" And she runs at him, and she, like, puts the knife up to her neck, and she's like, "Slice my throat open! I want to be with my babies!" And he's like, "Okay, 1, calm down. 2, you literally didn't ask about your children until now."
They've been gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah, they've been gone for quite a while, and you have not said a word. 3, I didn't kill them. They're with my wife. And so he's like, fine. And so he tells her, like, your children are alive. He decides to save her too. And he's like, I'm going to do my best. And he gets a young hind. I don't know what that is. A pig?
Isn't that a dog? Like
I hope not. But he gets a young hind to trick her again. And he takes her to his house, and she's, like, crying over her children and stuff like that. And then he leaves, and he cooks the hind. I hope it's not a dog. And it works. The ogress is deceived and delighted. And now her plan is to tell her son when he comes back from war that a family of wolves devoured his wife and children. And she's like, all is well. I'm so smart.
It's a deer. A female deer.
Thank God. I mean, I don't like that, but, like, thank God. And so one day, the ogress is skulking around the manor, and she's like, just skulking, looking for meat. That's what she does. She's an ogre. And she hears, near the guy's house, Day crying, because he's only 3 years old. And he's crying because apparently he did something really bad, and his mom threatened to spank him, and he's like, no! And then she hears Dawn being like, no, mama, he didn't do it, I did it, spank me. Just like normal kids. And then I put, royals, they're just like us. And she's like threatening to spank his behind. And so the ogress is enraged. She realizes she's been tricked. So she orders a huge vat to be brought out into the middle of the courtyard. And she fills that vat with vipers and toads, snakes and serpents of every kind. My thing is, vipers, snakes, and serpents are all the same thing. But so they fill it with a bunch of, like, nasty little biters and some toads, I guess, to feed them in the process, because the toads aren't going to do anything. Mm-hmm. And then they bring out...
They're going to be real gross. They're going to, like, jump on you and be, like, slimy.
But, like, all those vipers, snakes, and serpents, which, again, are all the same thing, are just going to start eating those toads.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Anyway.
Maybe it's to keep the vipers and snakes and serpents in
it gives them incentive to stay inside the big cauldron.
Yeah.
Got it. So then she brings out the queen and her children, the chef, his wife, and a serving girl. And I'm like, what did the serving girl do? What the hell?
She's there to serve them when they're eaten by snakes and cooked.
All of their hands are tied behind their backs. This serving girl just got fucking caught up in the mix. And she stands up behind them and she starts like monologuing and she's like, and you should never try to do this and blah, blah, blah. And then she prepares to Sparta kick them into the big pot off like a diving board. And as she's about to do this, right at that moment, the king rides into the courtyard, like the young king. No one thought he'd be home so early, but he was. Apparently he kicked Cantaloupe's butt. Kicked Prince Cantaloupe Butt's butt.
Kicked Prince Cantaloupe butt.
Yeah! And then he, like, came home early to be like, surprise! Oh, what? He just sees his mom with everyone he knows tied up, and she's about to, like, drop kick them into a big vat full of, like, snakes. And he's like, what's happening? And as he says that, the mom screams in rage. She's like, damn it! And then she, like, swan dives into the vat. She throws herself into the vat. Out of anger, it says.
What?
I don't know. I throw temper tantrums differently, but I'm not an ogre. So after she's gone, the king is really sad, but because she's his mom, he's like, that kind of sucks. Like, that's my mom. I don't like that she swan dived into a vat instead of telling me what was happening. And then,
so is he a quarter ogre?
Yeah.
Oh.
I bet he's great in bed.
What the fuck?
You don't think that that's what it means?
I'm missing a step there.
Okay.
I was like, oh, he's a quarter ogre, which means that he has half of the baby eating impulses of his mother. And you were like,
yeah.
He's got a big old hog.
I bet he's got like just animalistic. I read a lot of books. So it was not long, this is the last quote of the story, it was not long before he found ample consolation in his beautiful wife and children. The end. That's the full story of Sleeping Beauty. Huh. Quick notes, really quickly. The earliest known version of the story, Sleeping Beauty, was found in the narrative Persephorest. It was composed in 1330 or 1344, between then. Later, Giambattista Basile added it to his collection of tales titled The Pentamerone, published posthumously, 1634. So this is like an old story. The first one we heard, actually have, written down is the 1300s. Then later it was published again in the 1600s. Then later, Charles Perrault writes this version that I just told you in 1697. And then later after that, the Brothers Grimm took it. And they actually didn't read it. Somebody told it to them, like I just told you, and then they wrote it down.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Here's something really cool.
Okay.
My story is also from Giambattista Basil's collection. It's from the same collection, also stolen by the Brothers Grimm.
Amazing!
Yeah.
What? There's more theme than one.
Yes. It's from exactly the same, like, Italian collection. So...
How fun!
Yeah, wild! So the ogress eats these animal hearts, and she's like, best human hearts I've ever had. So this whole time... she didn't have to be eating humans. She could have just been eating animal hearts like everyone else. And it would have been just as good and she couldn't tell the difference. So, like...
the whole animal, too. Yeah, 100%. That's, like, honestly, I think it's just how evil ogres are, you know? Like, she didn't know the difference. And she was like, this is the best I've ever had. Like, I've never tried anything better. But the fact that she was lied to and stuff like that, I just think that ogres want to eat babies.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's just a question of, like, her reaction to that, to finding out, like, oh, I actually ate, like, a sheep heart.
Okay, but
is to be like, oh, I was tricked, and not like, oh, thank God. Okay. Like, I can have just as good food, if not better.
This is just one of those fucking, like, toxic, like, podcast bros, though, who are like, I wanted a steak, and then I ate a steak, and it was delicious, and I found out it was, like, a fucking, like, mushroom or something like that. It was vegan? Like, absolutely not. And then they make a big fucking deal about how they were tricked, you know? And it's like, listen, you liked it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt you at all. And, like, it doesn't hurt an animal either.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's stupid.
It's like being tricked into eating vegan and being like, oh, no. I feel like that's what she's doing.
Yeah, that's gross.
But also, I love this story. I love this version so much. There's a lot of, like, he doesn't, like, force himself on her. He's not kissing a sleeping woman. They talk for hours. They have so much in common. Like, I think it's one of the most romantic fairy tales I've ever read, just for that particular...
I love it.
Love story. Isn't it nice?
I really like that.
Yeah. Okay, Max.
Okay, Janey.
Okay, Max, okay. We're going to end this here because my story went really freaking long, as it does.
As it does. As it should.
And you guys are gonna hear Max's story next week, episode 41.
Woohoo!
Woo! Into our 40s. Lordy, lordy, I'm over 40. That should be the next episode title.
I like it.
We'll think about it. Okay, so we hope you guys have a wonderful day.
And you can check us out on our different social media channels. We are on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads at Sort of the Story, all one word. You can also email us at sortofthestory@gmail.com. And we just set up a Discord channel. We don't have a custom link yet, but you can find that link in our various social media channels. We'll be sharing more information about that. You can come hang out with us. We would love to see you. Love to have a place where, you know, people who listen to the podcast can talk to each other, can talk to us, can share their stories.
Book recommendations, which is a very fun thing that we talk about all the time. And we can give you announcements about the podcast as we go, because we have a lot of fun things coming up that we're very excited about.
Yeah, so come hang out with us on any and all social media channels. We'd love to see you.
Write in if you have some thoughts and you want to write to us. Write in at sortofthestory@gmail.com. I think we're all good. And rate and review this podcast, please. Come on. Do it. We would love to see it.
Do it.
Let everyone else know.
Say nice things about us.
Oh my God. Like, come on. Give us a little compliment. Like, just a little taste.
Just a little treat.
And with that, shameless begging for compliments.
Be nice to us, please.
Okay, and goodbye.
Bye.
Jelly beans.
What if you said jelly beans? Janey just said jelly beans and then put her hand in front of my face, and I wish in that moment that I could produce jelly beans in my mouth so I could have just spit jelly beans into your hand.
Okay, you are seeing this as one of your superpowers. What if that's one of my superpowers? And I can hold out my hand and say jelly beans, and somebody just has to throw up a bunch of jelly beans against their will. You are the jelly belly now.
The curse of the jelly belly.
You done been cursed, son.